Right now. Go ahead.
So say your name.
So the 3 lines on one of the interesting projects that I've done is that building life skills in the space of adolescent reproductive and sexual health in schools, students, in the adolescents of schools through the teacher training. So we did it through United Nations Population Fund. They had the funds for it and they had sponsored some schools. They told us what profiles of schools to take. So that's the 3 lines.
Brilliant. Super. Thank you very much, Padma. And everybody just say your name as you start. Okay. That would be good because we're going to record this also. Okay, go ahead. Who wants to go next?
I'm Upma, and one of my recent projects, I give training to 150 people of visual merchandising, that is designing space in a store, how the store should look. So I trained them, and for Reliance, over 2,000 stores are there. So that's one of my projects on design aesthetics and styling.
Fantastic. We're going to pause for a second and we'll welcome our new guest here. Robin, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Robin,
Upma?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. So can I ask a couple quick questions?
Yeah. Or do you want me to just brief you what we're doing here?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So I know I invited you from the OpenAI group. And so this is a community that we are trying to build. We call them community of Changemakers, which is consultants, trainers, and coaches who work with organizations. It could be for-profit, not-for-profit, government, any form of organization, but it works with organizations. And this is kind of the starting stage of this whole community. And we are trying to build a community which really empowers each other. And two intentions. One is to create organizations as a force for good. And second is that every consultant, trainer, coach experiences being supported by the community. So they're not alone. And of course, you would have received a write-up which has more explanation of this, but I just gave you a brief. Now you can ask your questions.
That's the brilliant start. Brilliant start. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to just sort of be a fly on the wall to see, and I'd love to meet everybody and connect on LinkedIn, and I'll be quiet now. Thanks.
Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you the LinkedIn group page. So you can join in there, and we have put our profiles there. You can also share your profile there, and then people will connect with you. And that's how we will build. And now we have one more colleague from the OpenAI group joining in. So David, welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you.
How are you? Okay, so David is also part of the OpenAI group where I am participating. And this idea of community was also inspired by the EXO principles, which is in the background of what we are doing in OpenAI. And David is also, so we'll give you a chance, David and Robin. What we are doing today is we are giving everybody a chance to share about one of their interesting projects in 3 lines. Okay. So David, I'll just update you what we are doing here. We are trying to create a community of change makers, which is consultants, trainers, and coaches who are working in the organizational space. Organization including all forms of organization. Yeah. Not for profit, profit, health, education, government, everything. But not people who are working in the personal space, but people who are working in the organizational space. And the commitment is to, one is create businesses as a force for good on the planet. And second is each change maker experiencing being fully supported by the community. So we say, don't be alone, be the community. And you would have received the write-up about this, and we will discuss more. You'll also be invited into the LinkedIn group if you want to join. So any questions, David?
No.
Okay. And we are also looking to form, see, this is evolving, but right now what we are looking to do is we are having this 1 hour meetings every Tuesday, this same time. And 1 week we are doing more of connecting and collaborating. And the other week we'll focus more on learning and knowledge sharing. Okay. Now today what we are doing is an experiment where each one of us introduces one of our projects in 3 lines. Okay. So you can listen in, have 1 or 2 people share, and then you can also jump in. Thank you. Okay, so who's next?
I can go next.
Yes, Mohit, go ahead.
So I'm Mohit Miglani. I'm primarily a business consultant into marketing and sales growth. My last project was for education area startup targeting school children of grade 12. I devised a B2B and B2C strategy to get them a good start into 15,000 schools, 12,000 schools, and 500,000, which is 5 lakh kids, students.
All right.
And
Right.
my primary achievement there was I designed micro funnels, and each micro funnel had series of micro wins to get this going for their revenue stream.
Fantastic. And Mohit, can you just, for my clarity, can you just say one more line about what was the product or service there? Was it a school or
Yeah,
what are you
competitive
offering?
mock exams for competitive university entrance.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very
You
much.
may have heard of CUET exam, which is
Right. Yeah. Okay,
for that.
fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, yes, Radhakrishnan. And then Mohak.
Yes, I'm Radhakrishnan I'm from Chennai, India. And I've been doing a project on competency dictionary creation for the green energy projects like wind and solar.
Okay.
This is my project right now. I'm doing it almost completed. So I thought I will just tell about this.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, Mohak.
So good evening. My name is Mohak Mehta, and I am an executive coach based in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, in India. One of the projects that we are working on right now is with an engineering company, and they are into the fabrication of machine cutting tools. And now, from machine cutting tools, they are setting up an entirely new facility for manufacturing of specialized equipment for drilling, which is and the parts that they are expected to manufacture, that they are on the roadmap to manufacture, they are the parts which are exclusively imported right now. So, and the promoter has a tremendous vision of decreasing India's reliance on imports. So that is one of the projects that I'm working on, and
Great.
very
Fantastic.
excited to be working on that.
Perfect, Mohak. Thank you very much. And by the way, all of you, all these projects, I hope you're going to share more about it on the LinkedIn group. Okay. Great. Who wants to go? Nilesh?
Yeah. I'm working on a ego to eco thinking movement project right now. And we had more than 100 plus seminar till today in last 2023 year. Like we deliver 100 plus seminars and we touch more than 10,000 plus lives and lot of corporate companies.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, Robin, you want to take a shot?
Okay, here goes. Let's see. So I'm Dr. Robin Rise. I live in LA, although right now I'm in United States. Right now I'm on the East Coast. And my project, I'll start with, do you all talk about massive transformative projects?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
so my
But you can go ahead and use that term, no problem.
Okay, so my MTP is healing our global village, one woman at a time. The Moonshot Project, my legacy company, is called Woman Optimized. And the goal is to create an entirely new ecosystem that simplifies how to match women and girls with their next ideal right step. So it's sort of like a GPS for women's lives. Did I answer all the questions? How'd I do?
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Just for my clarification, if you can say, you said ideal and then two words used after ideal. Matching women and girls to their ideal. What did you say after that?
Next right step. So sometimes provider, next product, make their lives magical.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hey, Rajneesh, welcome. David, you want to give a shot?
Sure. My name is David Prorock. I live in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. And one of the projects I'm working on is called Booty AI. And the goal of this platform is to use AI and human coaches to guide people on the path to enlightenment. So we've built a few tools right now that I've been using in like my interactions with people online. Yeah, and the website is boodi.ai.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, David. And so I see David as somebody who's trying to bring mindfulness and AI together. Is that a good way to say that, David?
Yeah, sure.
One of the ways, of course. Okay, Preeti Sabharwal, welcome, and Rajneesh, welcome. Rajneesh, are you going to get on? Okay, Preeti, welcome to your first call of the Changemakers here, Abundance Tribe Changemakers. And right now what we are doing is we are just introducing one of the projects that we have worked on in 3 lines. That's what we are doing here, okay? And Rajneesh, you need to unmute if you want to speak and get your video on. Okay, so I'll take a shot. And since some of our colleagues talked about education, so I'll share one of those projects. So I started my consulting career in 1992, but or 94. But I started this. I set up the first ever Delhi Public School in Gujarat at the age of less than 25. And then I also set up the other school for Zydus Kerala. So my career started with being a founder consultant for setting up these 2 schools. So that's my 3 lines. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is now go do a second round. Okay, so now you can either talk about the same project and you can go deeper into that if you want, but preferably we would like you to talk about some other project. Okay, so but choice is yours. So once you get the mic, nobody controls it. So go ahead. Who wants to start?
Manoj, Preeti, Rajneesh will hear from them also.
Yeah, but we can't force them, no?
Okay.
So when they unmute and when they get the video on, we would love to hear them. But I have daughters, teenage daughters, so I have been now trained that you can't force anything. Okay.
That's a good learning. That's a good learning. Okay.
Manoj, at what age exactly does this revelation come?
After they're 12 years old, then you have to become the student. You are the student and they are the teacher. And they'll guide you how to deal with them.
Preeti, we are just introducing ourselves, and the way we are introducing is by talking about any of our project, any one project, and we are sharing about that project in 3 lines. So mostly what you're getting to say is the title of the project and 1 byline, right? So 3 lines means very limited, but that is how we are introducing ourselves right now. Okay, you can take a minute to think, and whenever you're ready, just unmute and speak.
Project means, I'm still not getting, sorry. Project means something you've worked on.
Yes,
Regarding your work. Yeah.
Whatever you have done in your
Means
professional life as a consultant and a trainer and a coach, like that. So this is the community of
Okay, fine.
consultants, trainers, and coach. So anything that you have worked on as a consultant or a trainer or a coach that you want to share with us
Mhm.
in 3 lines.
Hmm. Okay.
And it would be good if you can get your video on. Thank you. Okay, so second round, who's starting? Padma, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Padma from Hyderabad. So the other project that I was really, my heart is very close to is integrating vocational education into the curricular aspects, school curricular aspects, and building teacher education, that is the B.Ed and M.Ed faculty, building capacities in the B.Ed and M.Ed faculty, and parallelly working with the in-service teachers as well to inculcate vocational skills from maybe grade 6 to grade 10, grade 12 into the curricular aspect. So into math, science, social, and language. That's been very close, and very recently I've done it as a part of the National Education Policy 2020.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Definitely looking forward to more sharing on this also.
Wow, ma'am. It's amazing. I'll personally call you to know more about this.
Yeah, this is, I'll tell you in detail what it is. Very interesting it was. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. I do another of my areas of work is I give trainings or you would say take sessions on dressing up. So how should a person dress up according to their height, their skin tone, their body shape? So I take this for anyone. I have taken it for lawyers, for CEOs, for normal human beings, you know, women, men from various walks of life. So I take those trainings. It's a day session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, who wants to go next? Just unmute and jump. Okay.
So I'll go.
Yes.
So areas of focus for me right now are solving the big problems of how do we help people know who they are. So I'm a clinical psychologist with a neuroscience background. And one of the things that seems to be true, not seems to be true, is true. People think they know who they are. And when they're acting on who they think they are, they're often wrong. Right. So the goal is, how do we solve the question of who people really are, what's really motivating, what are some of the immunity to change things they have, beliefs they have under the surface that impact their ability for success. So we're looking to develop an AI that helps people to identify who they are really, to get to who they think, from who they think they are to who they really are to where they really want to be. So that's an AI project we're working on, or I'd like to be working on.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That's interesting. Okay.
Can I
Priti, you wanna
share?
go? Yes, Priti,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes. So I aspire to become one of the greatest contributors on executive presence on this planet.
Talk about your
And-
past project, okay?
Yeah, so this is the book that I released in this year, which is an
Yeah.
inside-out approach to executive presence. Nobody's talking about this. I have read more than 20 books myself and gone through many programs, but nobody is talking about now how from inner radiance you can start showing your executive presence as outer brilliance. So I think I have contributed with this book, and I launched a program in Ludhiana for a company on the basis of this book.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And do share about this on the LinkedIn group. We will send you the
Yeah.
link for that if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, who's going next? Okay. I wasn't expecting that I would have to
Why
motivate.
are men so shy? All the women have spoken up. Come on, guys. Who's going to eat you up, huh? Come on.
They're all scared of you, Upma.
Right.
Mohit, go ahead.
No, I
Don't
did
worry.
already.
Yeah, this is the second round now.
Oh, then I'm sorry, I missed the question. What I'm
Same thing,
supposed
we are in another project we are talking about. 3 lines on another project. Okay, so you can think
Yeah.
in the meanwhile. So I'll share about a current project. So recently we have collaborated with the Ahmedabad Management Association and have started a platform called CEO Forum. And we are doing special workshops with them, which are dedicated for the top management. And the focus is creating future-ready organizations and creating organizations where people can bring their head, heart, and soul. So that's what we are doing currently. Thank you. Okay, somebody else want to jump in now? Mohak and then Mohit.
So one another project that is very close to my heart that I am working on right now is with a pediatric hospital in Ahmedabad. So they are a chain of hospitals, and it took us a long time to formulate a vision. But the game that they have taken on is to have affordable healthcare available to every child in India. Affordable healthcare. So, and to that end, they already have 4 branches, and there is a roadmap. But I am really thrilled and excited to be working with people who are committed to something that is bigger than their own self, and
Right.
it reflects in their day-to-day actions. So
Super.
the whole process in which, and I would like to say that I participated, and I have had the opportunity of working with you, Manoj, and that whole the mindset shift of bringing the higher self to work every day. So there might be different technologies that achieve the same goal ultimately, but when people come from being in service of something that is bigger than who they are, that's when they are like lit up by their experience of themselves and who they are, and that's when I really love working with them.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mohak, you have to learn to speak in 3 lines.
Got that.
Otherwise we'll send you to politics.
Okay, I will use conjunctions from now on.
Okay, Mohit, did you want to share?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
line 1, this was a project for a listed company about $30 million into artificial leather manufacturing, 7 product lines.
Wow.
Line 2, I was supposed to do marketing strategy for them for their B2B expand and optimize. Line 3, I found a lot of gaps and handed it over to Nilesh ji for first increasing their capacity, helping them with their wastages and lean coaching, lean training.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay. Nilesh, do you want to go next since he's already
Yeah.
talked about?
Yeah, thank you. So my second project which I'm working on it is I created a collaboration with 2 association, ISA and MASIA. It's a industrial association where they are collectively they are creating customers for me. So they are giving me customers at one stroke, like a 300 customer, 500 customer. That kind of collaboration we are doing for the lean cluster.
Okay, for lean management. Okay, got that. Thank you very much. David, you want to give a shot?
Yeah, so another project, I guess you would call it, is offering meditation coaching to individuals. So one way that I do that is using a custom GPT that I created called RAIN, a practice of radical compassion. And so you can use this AI while you're on a call with somebody, and it guides you through a process of recognizing your emotions, allowing them to be there, investigating them, and nurturing. So as the coach, I basically just read what the AI says and then guide them in a meditation at the end.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, Rajneesh, are you going to be available on this call or are you going to just listen? Are you there, Rajneesh? Okay. It's sad that we couldn't get Rajneesh. We had a call and he's doing some interesting work. I would have allowed him to share. Okay, Radhakrishnan, go ahead.
Yes, I am telling about the project which I've done earlier. That is
Yeah.
the construction of 2 into 500 megawatt thermal power plant in near Visakhapatnam.
Okay.
From scratch, from the plain ground to commissioning and commercialization of the project is what I've done. I led the project totally.
Okay, brilliant, super. Okay, so again, my request, please put lot further details on your projects on the LinkedIn group, because these are all really interesting projects, right? And we would love to hear more about them. Okay, Preeti, do you want to go for the second round?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So another thing which I'm working on, I want to create one of the top 3 coaching workshops, coaching skills workshops in India. And I'm launching this at Le Meridian, Amritsar on 31st January. The shift that you can bring through coaching, conversations, various tools and methods that I am putting there in that workshop.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hey, Rajnish, good, you could join back. Can you hear me now? Okay. Seems your network is not going to be friendly with you today. Okay, so we'll pause here, and what I would like to do is to invest some of the balance time in looking at our sales and business development conversations. Many of you have in the form have mentioned that you would like to get more training and build more competency in the area of sales, business development, and being able to build your whole practice. Okay, so is that okay if we spend some time around talking about sales? Okay, so I have been trained in a process called consultative selling. Some of you may have heard of it. And one of the methods that I've been trained in is in the top 5 methods of selling. So there are many aspects of it. When we train companies, it takes like 1 year to train. Okay. So what we are going to do is in all these sessions, we will bring in some snippets, and then maybe at some time we would also do a extra masterclass. So let's start with what are the common mistakes that people make when they are promoting their products and services? Somebody wants to guess what is the most common mistake?
Maybe pitch something that's not required by the organization.
Okay, very good.
There's no match between requirement and offering.
Okay, fantastic. Mohak?
They don't listen.
They don't
So
listen.
yes, speaking a lot, being the salesperson.
Yeah. Good. So consider that that is one of the most common mistakes.
Not understanding the requirement.
Yeah. But so that's true, not understanding. But what Mohak said, I want to just underline. The biggest mistake and the most common mistake is salesperson, right? And I mean it in the fullest respect, speak a lot. Second is they speak about themselves. Third is they speak about their products and services. And by the time they complete their script, the customer has mentally already gone to some other meeting. Right? So first thing is to realize that the customer is not interested in you. And the customer is not interested in what you have to offer. Whatever you have to offer, the customer is not interested in that. Whatever you have to offer, customer is not interested in that. Even if you are giving them gold and diamonds and whatever else, they're not interested in that. Like really, we have to get this in our DNA. Okay, so let me make it simpler for you, right? So somebody tell me, what is the last purchase that you did, which was like a significant purchase for you? It was not like casual thing, but it was something significant. Doesn't have to be very big. Tell me any one of you. What is the last thing you purchased?
My
fridge.
car, Manoj,
Mohak, what did you say?
my car.
Car. Okay. Somebody else said something?
Fridge.
Fridge. Okay, good. So let's ask both of you, right? So which company fridge you bought?
Whirlpool.
Whirlpool. Okay. And which car did you buy?
It's Nexon EV.
Nexon, Tata.
Yes.
So do you have shares of Tata and do you have shares of Whirlpool?
No, I don't have shares of Whirlpool.
All right. Do you know the CEO?
No.
Do you know how many days they spent in designing this car or this fridge?
Nope.
Do you have any love for Tata or Whirlpool?
Just wanted a change of brand, so I bought a different brand. That's all.
Coincidentally, I know it's rather unusual, but my answer to all of those questions is yes.
Huh.
And
Yeah. And
I am even
still it has
invested in
got,
Tata Motors.
yeah. And still it has got nothing to do with your buying the car.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that what are you really buying? Right? So let's look at what did you really buy? So Padma, what did you really buy?
A cooling device. That's
Yeah.
it.
You bought a facility to keep your what vegetables and some of the
Food.
stuff safe,
Yeah,
food
food.
safe. Yeah. So you bought that, right? Whether that's what you bought, right? Not like somebody else could buy, oh, I bought a refrigerator because that would look good in my house, right?
No, I didn't go for
Now,
that. Basically, there's a lot of power usage with my old fridge, which is what I
Yeah.
realized after I bought the new fridge.
right. So you bought efficiency, right? You bought power efficiency.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. And what did you buy, Mohak?
The ability to travel comfortably and affordably.
Yeah. Now it could be the car, it could be something else. It doesn't even have to forget which brand. It can be even a different product altogether that can serve your need. Can you get
True.
that? So we say in this game, we say you don't know what you are selling till the time you find out what they are buying.
So
Now for that, we need to get into their world. We need to get into the customer's world. Hey, Shubham, welcome. How do you get into the customer's world?
Hi Manoj, hi everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So question for everybody, how do you get into the customer's world?
Listening.
So you
Intentional.
engage in
Engage in
in
conversations.
understand what their business is, and then you listen to them, their pain points. Or, I mean, why is it that they are looking, why do they want to procure what they want to procure?
Okay, good. They listen to the pain points. Okay, somebody else.
I'll
How do you
just,
get into their world? Yeah,
you
Robin.
need to know the problem they're trying to solve.
Yeah, you need to know the problem that they are trying to solve. And how do you get to do that?
You listen to their, yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Robin.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah, you explore and listen to what the client or the company, what they're trying to achieve. So it's an exploration uncovering process.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Padma, you were saying something?
Probing questions.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, that's good. So one thing is that you need to listen, right? Most of us agree that we need to listen more. But for us to listen, somebody needs to speak. How would we listen if they don't speak, right? So then how do you get them to speak?
Asking the appropriate questions, questions that interest them,
Okay.
where they are coming from,
Yeah.
So they speak, then they speak,
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Somebody else? How do you get them to speak? Mohak?
So, by being powerfully related with them, by really being connected with them.
Okay, good. Thank you. Somebody else?
Ask them their pain areas, what has been troubling them, where they
Yeah.
lost money recently, what plans have failed for them, what has worked for them well.
Yeah, good. So most of you are kind of coming towards that. One is you have to ask questions, right? And second is to build rapport. So in this consultative selling model that we are working on, it's a very old established model, and that's called spin selling, SPIN. Okay, and very famous, and a lot of people know about it. Very few people use it, right? Because it's not easy to use, right? And it requires a lot of homework. Okay, so the spin selling is basically 4 words, right? SPIN. And this was created by Neil Rackham. And you can get this book also, Spin Selling, and there is a book called Spin Selling Field Book. I would, if you like to read, I would strongly recommend these 2 books. We use those books even in the workshops that we do. So there are 4 types of question. Okay. So first question is S means situational questions, or you can say background questions. The second is problem questions, like some of you were talking about it, right? So problem questions. Third is called implication questions. So the good or bad thing about problems is problems never come alone. Every problem comes with a cascading effect. You take any problem and you will see it has a cascading effect on multiple other areas. Suppose a company has a cash flow problem, you will see it has an impact on many other issues. You'll see, oh, it's a employee retention problem, it has a cascading effect on many other issues. If it has a sales problem, there's cascading effect. So every problem has a cascading effect. And that cascading effect is called the implication of the problem. Okay. And then the fourth aspect, N, is called the need payoff or a benefit. Basically, it's about benefit. If this problem was solved, what would be the benefit? Okay. Now, we will go into it a little deeper, but I'll just repeat. S is situational or background questions. P is for problem questions. I is for implication questions, which is the cascading effect of the problem. And N is the need payoff question or the benefit question. Okay, so let's just park this for a minute and I'll come back to another question for all of you. Who do you think is the best salesman? Like which profession you would consider as the best salespeople?
Doctor.
I would say insurance.
Insurance, okay. Right. Somebody else?
Doctor.
Doctor, okay. Somebody else?
I agree with Upma, insurance, mutual funds.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
when you don't need, they sell. I mean, at
Yeah.
least you feel you don't need.
Yeah.
Used
okay.
cars.
Right. We are here going to go with Nilesh's answer. We are saying doctors. And why doctors is because nobody thinks of them as salespeople. That's the best qualification. If you are the greatest salesperson when nobody thinks of you as a salesperson. Because if they think of you as a salesperson, you're already creating resistance, right? Now, good thing about a doctor is we all of us have experience with them, so you can learn some of it, right? So imagine you go to a doctor, your family physician or anybody, right? And just as you walk into their clinic, they look up to you and they give you medicine. Will that work for you?
No.
No. What does the doctor do? What does the doctor do? Yeah, he asks you question, right? And he listens to you, and he will ask some further probing questions, and he will do his analysis. And sometimes he or she would ask you to go through some tests and some reports to be generated and stuff like that. Basically, they ask questions and they go deeper into the problem, understand the problem. If required, they will do tests to understand it. But no doctor worth their salt is going to give you medicine without doing any of this, right? And if they start doing that, right, mostly you will say, no, then I will go to the pharmacist directly, right? And why do I need to go to the doctor then? So what we want to encourage all of us to do is to look at ourselves as doctors. Whether you are a consultant or a trainer or coach, you're also you can look at yourself as a doctor. You're there to go to the root of the issue and help them solve the issue. And more importantly, what I'm talking here about is you have to build that kind of credibility. And why is that credibility required? So let's say if a salesman comes to you and starts asking you one question, second question, third question, fourth question, what will you do? You will find some.
Get irritated and throw him out. How does
it? Yeah, somehow you will get an exit strategy, right? Whether it's polite or not polite, you will somehow find an exit strategy. But if your doctor asks you 4 questions, have you ever got upset?
No.
Do you ever complain that my doctor asked too many questions? Never. Because that's the credibility. Right now, in our field, unfortunately, many of us have to deal with that overall as a profession, people not credibility. So there is no guaranteed credibility. Like a doctor will get an inherent credibility because he's a doctor, he or she is a doctor, right? But if you say I am a consultant, that doesn't necessarily get you the same credibility. So you have to build your credibility. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And you have to earn your right to ask questions. You have to earn your right to get into the world of the customer. Okay, so let me pause here. And Padma, you have hand up. You have a question or a comment?
I just have a thought. Actually, it's not a comment. It's my understanding or my experience in life has told me that in any situation, a family will spend on health, education, and food. They will cut out on everything else when they don't have money or when there's an issue. Like if you look at the COVID pandemic also, the food, the schools were running online. They suddenly took up online classes and education was happening. So no, they didn't want to cut out on education. Even the underprivileged got mobile phones and somehow managed smart classes for their kids. And doctors, of course. So I think the doctor's sales is much easier because you go to them with a pressing need that needs to be solved. And in every other field, it's much more difficult. the sales is much more difficult.
Yeah.
So you want to step out of a doctor's clinic with a solution for sure.
Can I respond to Padma?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying, Padma, is actually 2 things. Right. I mean, if you look at, I mean, you've actually raised a very interesting point. So the thing is, one, the problem is perceived to be very serious that needs immediate attention by the customer, right? The second is that then the person looks around who are the credible people in my neighborhood or people I know, and then reaches out to them for the treatment. So I agree with you, and I have seen as a consultant that a lot of the time people also do not even understand that they have a problem, right? But then those are the people who can't even be called customers, because if you go by the marketing, if you go by the marketing textbooks, customer is a person who has a need and who is out in the market looking for fulfillment of the need and has the money to pay for it. See, if I have a need and I do not have money, then I'm not a customer. If I don't even know if I'm aware of the problem, even then I'm not a customer.
Right.
And
Yeah, but
most
there's also something, there's also something called
into the trap.
awareness.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I was trying to say is most of the time, we consultants end up actually proving to our clients that, look, you have a problem. Because we see a problem, but unfortunately they do not see it.
Right. Got that. So that's what we want to learn, Rajneesh, is how do we actually build the awareness and how do we create the awareness for people to see the challenges and see the opportunity, not only the challenges, but also the opportunities. Right. So people are going to buy for two reasons. One is to deal with a pain area or to deal with to encash an opportunity. So it can be either ways, right? Okay. So before we go ahead, questions about whatever we discussed so far.
Is it that we have to create a situation like doctor-patient relationship? It is very simple to, the rapport can be built very easily because the patient is going there.
Yeah, but
So
also,
can you take a parallel? Can you take a parallel in the sales?
I think I would say you have to be a domain expert. Okay.
Okay.
See, while we are saying that the patient trusts the doctor, let's not forget that the doctor has done something to earn that trust. They have gone through 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years of learning or more.
And experience.
They have built the credibility. Okay.
Right.
Now, if people start complaining about a doctor's competency, they are also going to get into trouble. So my take on it is what I would like to learn from a doctor or get inspired by is to build that kind of domain mastery. When you have that kind of domain mastery, then the quality, see, asking questions is easy. Asking questions that customer wants to respond is the challenge. Because if you ask questions and customer doesn't like to respond to those questions, they are going to bash you up. And most of the salespeople ask a lot of questions and they just irritate everybody because they don't have the substance to ask the valid question. Right? So what would it take for us to be able to ask a question that the customer is inspired to respond? And for me, that is deep understanding of the domain that you're working in and deep understanding of the customer's industry.
True. That's true. As far as domain understanding,
that's the foundation
is concerned, it's correct.
Yeah. I see that as the foundation for our profession.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think customer care and such service that you want to recommend them to others is what we should also do. I think give them such good service that they will recommend and word of mouth. And from my experience with my dental surgeon has been so good that he's upselling and cross-selling to me now.
Right.
He's selling me cosmetic and skincare treatment also. His wife does that. So he's saying you should do this, you should do that. Why don't you try it out? So I'm not fallen for the trap as yet. But that's how it is. He's giving me such good care that
Yeah.
he's actually
So
making me feel that he's caring for me
Yeah.
And it isn't
by
a
telling
trap
me to do the
anymore.
skincare.
Once you trust
Sorry?
him, I said once you trust him, it isn't a trap anymore. You trust him for other things as well.
Yeah, but not
True, but
necessary.
I
Not
really
necessary.
don't. Yeah, I don't need the skin treatments. I know that. But he was just telling me, maybe you should just go in for this. I'll put something and all. I don't want all those things. I just want my teeth to be happy. That's all.
But if it looks like a trap to you, then
Yeah.
obviously he is not a very good seller.
No. He's trying.
Also,
He's trying.
he's not the customer, no. She just said
I'm not the customer for that. I'm the customer
She doesn't
only for
need
my
it.
dental issues with him. He's very good with it. In fact, I've given him a review on Google. 500 people have seen that review and gone to him. That's what he says. I've also got a message from Google. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at Padma, what you're saying here is he built the credibility with you and you trust him, but then he is now talking about something that you don't have the need for. And the more he will talk about it, the less and less you're going to value his speaking on the new topic.
Yeah, but he's understood he has to back off. Otherwise, he may lose me.
That's what I'm saying. That is his good luck and that is his wisdom. If he doesn't realize that, then he might end up upsetting a satisfied customer.
Correct. And the word of mouth will also stop. So I'm not going to recommend him anymore. Yeah.
So, okay, good. So now coming back to us, right? Is there any learning for any one of us here out of this discussion? Something that you can take on for yourself? Because what we want to do is create these snippets which help us to develop our own business development activities, right? So any insights for it, any one of you here?
You spoke about earning the right, which I really liked.
Okay.
Now, my question to myself would be, have I earned the right to ask the questions? If I have not, how would I do that now?
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Somebody else?
You give the opportunity for us to somewhat connect each other in a better manner.
Yeah, but I'm now, so that's for the whole session, but I'm asking you right now from this session that we just talked about for the last 15-20 minutes about
oversell. Don't.
Okay.
I mean, the first thing, yeah.
Can you say again?
I said, don't oversell.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
Make a point and let it be with the customer. It's like plant a seed and let it grow. And then if the customer feels the need, if the customer wants the service, the customer would come and give you the space to ask questions.
Okay, so fine. So basic point is don't oversell, right?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Somebody else?
My takeaway,
Yeah, Nilesh.
my takeaway is domain expert.
Okay.
That's something really amazing. Being
Yeah.
domain.
Very good. And Nilesh, if I can take your example, there will be two domains that you have to master as a lean consultant. Okay. So one is the domain of lean management itself. Second is the domain of the client industry. So for example, if you are doing, let's say you are working with a power plant, then the application of lean is going to be very different from, say, you're working with a engineering company or with a chain of hospitals or with any other industry, right? So every industry, like you go to airline, every industry, the application of lean will be very different with some basic principles being the same, but still there are a lot of nuances. So each one of us, I'm just using you as an example, we need to have two domain mastery. One is our own subject domain. Second is the client industry domain. Right? Great. Thank you very much. Anything for you, Upma?
I'm just taking away being present to the customer again.
Okay, great.
The customer is, yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Mohit, anything for you?
I do not have any specific different takeaway than what has already been mentioned, but I just want to say there is nothing like overselling. This is a term used by customer only. The only thing is either wrong selling, mis-selling,
Right.
not selling. Both are bad.
Yes.
I mean, selling is never overselling.
Okay. Yeah. But if the customer says that you're overselling, then definitely that is a concern, right?
At times, in that case, product market fit is not there, then it is a different thing. But if the product market fit is there, then it's just that the timing may be wrong.
Okay.
Or the person is not the customer. Or the
Again,
person
it needs to go back to the top of the funnel, go to the awareness stage. Is not ready to make a decision, that's all. So it needs to be nurtured.
Right. Okay.
You still have to stay in that customer's mind.
Very good. Fantastic. So we will talk about this again in the next conversation. And what you're pointing out is it what we call, is it big enough need, right? Is the need big enough for you to talk further about it? Or do you still need to develop the need? There is a whole concept called developing the need, right? So we will talk about it in the future sessions. Thank you very much for your participation today, and enjoy. So if you are enjoying Christmas yesterday, that's great, and then enjoy your holidays. And we would like to offer you a gift as the holidays and the New Year gift. And the New Year gift that we want to offer to you is one is we are offering you a free brainstorming session. Okay. So if you want to have a brainstorming session with any one of us, that is myself or Nilesh or Aljor, he's going to be available after the 1st of January. So if you want to have a brainstorming session about your work that you're doing, your practice, and you want to just see how you can develop further, or just you like to have a different perspective on how you could build your practice, then you can have a call with any one of us. You can schedule it. So that's the first gift. And the second gift is we're going to invite you all to the special workshop that we are doing with AMA, which is called Creating Future Ready Organizations. And if you are interested to know more about it, the link is available in the LinkedIn page. Okay, so those two opportunities are there. Thank you very much. See you next Tuesday. And please look at how we can spread this community, how we can increase this friends here in this community. So think of that and take some actions on that. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all.
Thanks, David, for joining in.